Hello, welcome to our weekly astrology transits. And we've kind of got a busy week. We got an interesting week. And we start out with this lovely Venus-Mars trine. We have, the water signs. Venus, she's sassy. You've got sassy energy in Scorpio. I mean, it's not her favorite place. It's, detriment. But it's investigative. It's, wanting, that Venusian energy, your wants, it's wanting to get to the bottom of something. It's wanting to uncover the truth. And I would say definitely there's a lot of truths being uncovered right now. And now with the trine over to Mars, in nice homey Cancer, it's like we want to investigate the truths around our house, the truths around our country, see these lies that have been forced down our throats and get to the bottom of it. Not everybody, of course, knows truths on all the levels, but enough people are knowing more and more that we're creating a good force of understanding how we've been um, manipulated, and people are starting to see through this, especially in the aftermath of this horrible Hurricane Helene. We're seeing the weather manipulation. We're seeing the steering of storms for profit. We're seeing the Kings Mountain area, the lithium mines. It's like if we can, it's 500 feet deep. If we can gouge out a whole bunch of dirt, oh, isn't that easy, to mine the lithium? There was just a big contract signed. Yada, 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 yada. It's out there. I'm not going to go all into that, but it's like, you can't help but to reflect what is in the time now. But we have this lovely trine right now. It is bringing some harmony and bringing some energy, to the home and family, and investigating and getting to the bottom of it, or making yourself, your comfy place and space. And that is a really nice trine. It's lovely. Um, it's a good little bump, of some good Venusian and Mars energy there. And it's nice with we've got the Sag Moon right now. I love Sagittarius moon. It's like one of my favorite moons. It's, much more happy and festive and uptone. And with this trine, it's just, it's gonna be a good little 24-hour-ish period here. We also have two big planets slowing down and changing directions this week. We can see Jupiter right here at 21 Gemini. It's stationary, you see it, and it's going to go, retrograde tomorrow, on Wednesday. But I want you to think back when it actually entered the sign of Gemini. It was on May 25th. So to reflect a little bit, what was going on for you when that entered that busy sign, and maybe there were some opportunities, maybe there were some things undone, but try to go back in your calendars and look, what that was, because now that it's going retrograde, we're going to revisit a lot of things that, when it started into this sign, that may have been let go of, unfinished, put by the wayside. Maybe you thought it was wrong, and it may be, it may be, you might have had some kind of a setbacks, but now you might realize that, oh, it is a blessing in disguise. So that is nice, and that's coming up. And it won't go direct again until February 4th, 2025. So use this time, retrogrades slow things down. It's been slowing down. It's been like on this degree for a while, and it's going to just take a little bit before it revs back up. So see if there's anything in your chart that it's going over. You have to go fine tooth comb over some of the expansion. Maybe you expanded somewhere too quickly. Maybe you took on too much information. Maybe there was a lot of information you didn't understand, looking at Gemini. All right, so that's a big one. And then we know we've been waiting for the Pluto. It's retrograde, and it's going to turn direct this week on Friday. So we kind of got a boom boom, Wednesday and Friday with these two big guys. All right, so today we have again this nice trine, and then we have something interesting. We kind of have a few planets. We have Mercury today, and then we'll have Venus on Thursday, and then we'll have the sun making conversations with both Jupiter and Chiron. And did I leave Chiron here? Yeah, there it is. And again, I don't go over a lot of stuff about asteroids and everything else. I think it complicates things. It's already complicated enough, but being that it's in people's vernacular, in their astrological vernacular, in their consciousness, it is being talked about a bit. Um, I'm not sure if my microphone says it's changing. I'm not sure what is going on. I hope it's fine. Okay. Anyway, um, Chiron, that wounded healer, good communications, good, what would I want to say? Good, um, I hate when these things come up. It gives me a thing. Your default microphone has changed. Okay, I'm sorry. Hopefully it'll go away and you can hear me okay. Um, Okay, so yeah, Chiron, the wounded healer, it's, about bringing maybe things that we've said to other people, maybe things we've thought about ourselves, to bring some healing in. And that's kind of why I want to do that. Um, there, okay, moved out of the way. God, it's distracting. Okay, so anyway, so there'll be conversations with Jupiter and Chiron. So we'll start with Mercury first. So Mercury here in 21 degrees, there's at 21, and we know that, we knew that Jupiter's at 21. So we have a trine again, we've got I'm sorry, air trine. Let me put it that way. We have an air trine with these two planets, right? Air sign, Libra, Mercury in Libra, air. And then we have Jupiter in Gemini, air. Okay, so they're trine. So what would that mean? We'd have Mercury, communication, and then in Libra, communication with or about others, with or about partnerships, with or about contracts, with or about um, creating balance, anything on that line with expanding busy communicative Jupiter. So, this is like maybe about this air trine. Maybe this is about those thoughts and ideas and those things, those connections with others that will maybe now start to pair up, now start to sink in and make some connection. And then Mercury is also in an opposition here, you can see, to Chiron. So, oppositions aren't always bad. It helps you balance, right? It helps you see, somebody else can see the back of your head when you can't. Somebody can give you their opinion. It's balancing as well as opposing. So it's just how we view things. So maybe we can get into balancing. And I'm looking on a global level. We have been pitted against each other. There has been things instigated, but we really need to make peace and not go into a lot of these places. We just have to stand for truth, have integrity, and then, don't allow people to get bullied. We may have to stand up for our rights and stand up for our beliefs and not allow bullies to continue to be bullies. So this is the start of some of this energy. Here's again, those two were making the conversation. We're going to see Venus do that, and you can see, look, it's 19. So when she gets to 21, she's going to be making, you can see it right now. Look at right there. There's a quincunx there, Venus to Chiron. And then, when it gets closer, and then it's going to go over another quincunx over to uh, Jupiter in a yod, a finger of God pointing down to Venus. I might as well just go there while I'm talking about it. I think I got through this. Yes. So we got through that. Okay. So Wednesday, Jupiter, we said that it's stationary. It's going to go retrograde. The moon moves into Capricorn, brings a little bit more responsibility, dourness to the next couple days. Okay, we talked about that. Now Venus, here we go, is making, we have that 21 degree there, and then it's 21. And you can see it is, it's a quincunx to both of these planets. And then the ones that Venus or whatever planet is quincunxed to will be in a sextile. So we see that Aries and Gemini are 60 degrees away from each other, and that's a sextile. That's a harmony type angle. It's a half of a trine. It's it's compatible because they are masculine, outward moving. So we have Chiron and Jupiter. It's like, well, maybe we have to pick ourselves up by our own bootstraps. Maybe we have to do the little juice cleanse. Maybe we need to get on our regimen. Maybe we need to exercise. Maybe we need to push something away. Maybe we need to turn it down. Maybe we need to turn on, other things that are good for us. Venus investigating, this expansiveness here, but yet the wounded healer is involved in this little trio here. Or, if it's pointing toward Venus, maybe we got to get over bad blood. If things said, maybe you got to the bottom of something. Now what? Okay, how can we create harmony? Okay, so anyway, these two planets are involved in this. Okay, they had the Mercury ones. Now they have the Venus ones. In a couple days, they'll have the Sun. You can see the Sun's at 18. When it gets over to 21, it will be making that some conversations. All right, what else today? We got the moon at the half moon, the quarter square. It's almost yeah, Thursday. It will be the next week on the 17th, we'll have the Aries full moon. So or half, the half moon is there. It's building, we're building toward the completion, the moon in Aries, completing something in Aries, completing a beginning, which is kind of contradictory. The Aries, but it's an initiating completion. Maybe it's the next stage of something. All right, we'll talk more about the moon next week. Everything on Thursday. Yeah, well, let me go back. Actually, the moon is the moon. Okay, here is sweeping through these late degrees here. You can see it is going to make some of these conversations. So we have a sextile over to Venus, right? It's these two signs apart, and these are both feminine signs. So moon and Venus, good conversation. Moon is squaring Chiron. Just imagine it's just a few hours. So I'm not going to move it for you. It'll be at 21, but it'll be squaring Chiron. So maybe this is still drudging up some more of this wounded healer, some more of this inner wounds of some kind, or something, somebody done somebody wrong, or somebody, can't get over it, or, whatever it is, this is stirring it stuff back up for a lot of people. And the moon there will be, well, we'll have opposing Mars, and then will be the inconjunct the quincunx over to Jupiter. So moon is, this Thursday, there's going to be maybe bringing up a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff, because the moon's got a lot of conversations right at once on those degrees. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 planets, kind of like right at that 19, 20, 21 degree area. So all that area and space is going to be buzzing. It's a lot of, it's a party line, a lot of conversations there. Thursday's gonna be a busy day. Okay. Friday. Friday the moon moves into Aquarius, so we're gonna get a little bit of a it could be militant, it could be rebellious, it could be high-minded, good for all. You never know with Aquarius moons. And it will go over Pluto, as it goes around every month. And it's going over Pluto as Pluto goes direct. Isn't that interesting? Huh. I don't know. It's just a little shot in the arm or a kick in the ass. The moon might be kicking Pluto in the ass, shot in the arm. Boom. Elbow as it's going by. I don't know. It could be just a little gnarly there. All right. So the moon conjuncts Pluto. Yeah, we get a little depth. We get a little breather of some transition on something, and they're right at that funky degree there, right at the end of Capricorn. So is this the last time the moon will go over Pluto while it is in Capricorn? Because it's going to be moving pretty quick. We'll have to look next month. Okay, that may be kind of significant. And of course, it's going direct. We can see it's stationary, it's going direct. So that's the big theme on Friday. Pluto, the last of this maybe I don't want to throw Pluto out or or Capricorn out with the bathwater, like baby out with the bathwater. It's at the end of the sign and there is structure. There has to have good structure. But there is stuff that has been running on lies, um, bad structure that needs to be gotten rid of. And I think that is that little spot right here that we're seeing at the end of the Capricorn, right before we start into Aquarius. Um, that's where it's just like, you just like, I'm done with this bully. I'm done with this lies. I'm done with this. If this happens one more time, I'm gonna, I think that's what we're all feeling. There's a lot of things that are now blatantly being done to us that I think people are going to be like, no, I'm no more. Mm-mm. And we're going to see that change. I think this might be a little foreshadow of it, actually, right here. The moon going over Pluto this month. Then we have the full moon in Aries, riled up. Okay. Anything else I'm going to tell you about Friday? No, that's good. All right. Coming into the culmination of our week or weekend. Now we have, oh, did I miss that? No, no, it's not yet. Okay, it's coming up. Um, yeah, the next day. Okay, so anyway, that Saturday. Saturday we have Jupiter, and we already pointed that out, and Chiron is out. They're exactly their sextile. So that's nice. Maybe we've got some big energy, big plans, big communications with healing. That would be nice. And then interesting, that always take other things into consideration. We have Mercury having a quincunx over to Neptune. There it is for you. So it's not it's 1 degree off, as Mercury's flying here at this time, but it does have a little, because it's going so fast, it's not going to stick. So just watch for, I don't know. I think this is kind of like your bullshit meter. I think this is like you're going to know, and you're going to be like, no, no, that's not right. Because this is just a hard mix. It's something with the, balance or communications and of balance in a partnership with, um, um, a dissolving Neptune. This could be just outright lie. This could be just some big lies, some big deceptions. So watch for that on Saturday. That's, I think, the biggest thing. Watch for some lie or deception. Outer in the big world and in your life, if you've got things at those degrees, late in the sign. Okay, yeah, I can go off on it, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right. And then Sunday the 13th. Um, Well, Mercury, just moves into new sign. Mercury's now going into Scorpio, and you could have, especially on the first day when it first jumps in here, some obsessive thoughts, and then the moon changes signed into Pisces, which is always to me modeling. Pisces is just a bit of a, Pisces moon's a little bit more of a modeling. Sarah Bernhardt, dramatic. Somebody goes, "What's wrong?" "Oh, nothing." That kind of stuff. So in with Mercury, we could have some obsessive thoughts. Um, yeah, deep thoughts, obsession. You just can't get something out of your head. You got a song stuck or something like that. Especially if you have things around those degrees. Yeah, so kind of watch for that, and then maybe just keep yourself in a good mood. But we also have, oh God, um, we've got Mercury now when as it's moved into um uh Scorpio. Yeah, um it's almost, you could see if Pluto was at 0 degrees, that would be a square. I mean, it is a square, and the Mercury is just when it was just at the end of um Libra, made it exactly. But actually I'll show you. I'll just do it. Maybe it's just a matter of there we go, a few hours. There we go. So there it is. So I'd like you to see it. See, they're both cardinal signs, but even though when it changes into the next sign, it's still in orb. But anyway, we have that square. So fighting words, resisting transformation in, and then maybe because we have Libra at the end of that, which is, fairness and balance, it's running up against some kind of authority. Something like that. So maybe speaking out against running up against inappropriate authority. Let me add that in there. That's what I think. That's my 2 cents. And then we have the moon also that day making a square over to Chiron. It was earlier. Do I have that on there? No, I'm sorry. Yeah. Moon. No, I'm sorry. No, moon square to Uranus. There we go. That's what I wanted to put in there. It was just a couple degrees off here. I kept it close. But anyway, you see it's square between that could be militant moon over to unexpected earthbound Taurian energy, but in reactive Uranus. There's kind of a lot in that kerfuffle there. Maybe there's a bit of a kerfuffle in that. So there's some interesting moods as we have come toward the end of the week and over the weekend. But we also have Mars. There it is. Mars making a square over to Chiron. There's that. And then we got Mars coming into an opposition with Pluto soon. You can see that's forming, that's coming in there, right? These are cardinal signs. So we've got some testy stuff. We've got the malefics, we got Mars and malefic coming into an opposition with Pluto. This is not a nice, some aspects are not bad, like certain oppositions and stuff, but this is not a nice one. And this one's coming in, and then we also have Venus in an opposition over to Uranus. So this can be kind of testy as we're coming in the end of the week here. So something sudden, something, depthy, something out of the blue, something sudden and something disruptive here, with this off, it's, a kind of an off, what I call it, a T-square, I mean a grand cross, a grand trine. There's a whole bunch of them, but they're not all to each other. You know what I'm saying? There's like, here's an opposition and then here's an opposition. So it's just kind of an odd two opposing forces. One's a quincunx to either, the others, they're opposite. But anyway, it's gnarly, yucky, disruptive, crappy energy. So be careful on Monday or Sunday and then coming into Monday. It's, because the sun will square, also the sun will square Mars here. Look at that. On Monday, there it is. And then see, this is getting closer here, but we got the Mars and the sun. So we're coming into some argumentative stuff. We're getting some testy things near the end of the week. We're getting to some, we got to throw the bully off of you. You got to get the perpetrator. You got to get the bad guy off of you. You got to get the bad thing off. You got to get the booger off your finger. It's worse than that. This is some heavier stuff. And then we've got, the moon coming into, is there anything else I wanted to tell you on that? Actually I do. Let's go something nice before we get into on Sunday. One redeeming factor though is that we do have a lovely sun trine Jupiter. And I want to say that this is the saving grace with all of this. This is, this balancing lovely Libran sun, wanting to communicate and have some communication energy and have some big responsibility, big humanitarian effort. So this is really nice. And sometimes, squares and oppositions stir things up. And it may be like, hey, we're not going to handle your BS. We want truth. We want it this way. We want answers. We want assistance. We want you to be on board. We want you to understand, and I'm not going to be bowled over anymore, kind of an energy. And then I'll be nice. Like it's like, look, I don't mean to get ugly. I'm only like this when you're out of line, kind of energy, when things aren't right. It's otherwise I'm a lovely, peaceful, Zen kind of person. So that's what I think this chart is kind of like. It's like if we get pushed to a certain degree, it's like, no, I'm not going to take this anymore. but I'm still nice underneath it all. Here's this nice trine. And if you have something there, it's going to be more explicit for you. Those that don't, you'll probably witness just things around you. One more last thought on this Venus opposing Uranus. I think this is a little bit testy. I could, this reminds me of like earth energy gone wrong, bogged down in mud, um, with stagnant water, stagnant earth, uh, things piled up, that kind of energy. So this is, in life, just see where, especially if you have things at this degree, see where you're stuck, see where you've investigated. Here Venus is, investigated and has figured out the problem and then told Uranus, and Uranus doesn't want to be stuck. So it's going to maybe make some movement of some sort, have some clarity, maybe some, something out of the blue, something, earthbound, out of the blue, maybe something real practical that just hits you, sudden practical insight. There we go. Takes a little bit to tease them out. A sudden practical insight, maybe a depthy, sudden practical insight. So anyway, getting some adjectives for, putting some of this to work. And that kind of sums up our week. The moon does make a trine. I mean, the moon goes over Saturn, is when we're in Pisces, it goes over Saturn. You can see it's almost here, the next day. And then it'll go over Neptune. So there could be a little bit of a emotional wishy-washiness as we, get through Sunday and into Monday. There's an exact, yep, on Monday, the Venus and Uranus. And there we see the moon going right over Saturn right there in the afternoon on the East Coast. Is that all I want to say? Okay, yeah, then the sun is squaring Mars. We already talked about that one right there exactly. So yeah, watch that, watch the words, watch your, always when we get riled up. And make sure that it's needed and needed to be, don't just waste it on something small, trifle, have that poignancy directed at something purposeful. That's the best way I can say it. All right, that is a busy week. I am on the west coast of Florida. I don't know how this Hurricane Milton is going to pan out. I may or may not have power next week. I do have a generator, extra gas, but you never know how things are. So if I'm not on, that's why. But I will try to be as long as I have power. I can fire up the computer, the internet, and put something out there. All right, that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed these transits. I can make them work for you. Astrology rocks. All right, everybody stay safe out there. Bye for now.